Hi there, I'm Michelle Lee of the Sophia Mystery School, your personal and spiritual evolution mentor, here to talk to you about becoming fifth dimensional. And there are three foundations of becoming 5D. Just as a reminder, in case you haven't seen my other videos, those foundations or pillars are divine power, accessing your divine power or wholeness, unity or oneness consciousness, and embracing your personal sovereignty. Today, I'm going to be focusing on the pillar of accessing your divine power and wholeness. Accessing that power and becoming embodied in your wholeness and your power requires us to integrate our shadow. I absolutely love shadow integration because it is some of the most powerful work I've done and I've taken my clients through. The transformation is mind-blowing. There's a lot of ways that you can integrate your shadow, and I teach several of them. But today I want to talk about the process of existential kink, or EK for short. I am an Existential Kink certified coach. And I became certified in this process because it was mind-blowing when I first found it. And it's still mind-blowing, but my mind was blown when I found Carolyn Elliott's book, Existential Kink. It's based on the axiom or the belief that having is evidence of wanting, meaning that whatever don't like situation you're having or experiencing, it is there's actually a shadow part or an unconscious part of you, a part of you that you have been unconscious of, that actually enjoys having that experience. So as an example, don't like experience would be maybe being stuck at a certain income level in your life, or consistently having the same relationship experiences, no matter what relationship it is, right? You can break up one relationship and then you go into a new one and it ends up being the same relationship again. So these looping situations are great situations to really do EK on, because when it's a looping situation, you pretty much know that there's a part of you that super enjoys or is super comfortable with or super familiar with this experience, even though consciously you're like, I want a new experience. Unconsciously, there's a part of you that doesn't want the new experience for whatever reason that is. So the EK process actually supports you in alchemizing that don't like situation to a more pleasurable, even orgasmic experience in your body. This is the process of alchemization. So in using the EK process, which is a meditational type of process, you begin to realize that the sensations that your body feels, the sensations that you feel in your body during this don't like situation, are often very similar to enjoyable experiences. For example, you may feel anxiety in your body when this don't like situation happens, but you realize that that anxiety feels very similar to excitement for something that you are anticipating. So those sensations in the body are very similar. During the EK meditation, which I'm actually going to take you through in a couple of days. So tune in. If you haven't subscribed and liked this video and subscribed to my channel, be sure and do that so you get the notification when my next video comes out, which will be me walking you through the EK process. So you just choose your don't like situation. And like I said, choose something that you have been looping into for some time. That way you really know that there's a part of you that has a preference for this result or situation. Then you will get into a relaxed state and feel the sensation in your body that comes up from this experience. So one of the greatest benefits of existential kink is connecting with your body again. If you're anything like me, I spent many, many years completely disconnected from my body. So even just coming into my body and going, oh, wow, I feel this in my belly and this in my chest and this in my throat, noticing that. But when you think about your don't like situation, you feel those sensations in your body and you get very intimate, like, oh, this is what I feel every time I have this don't like situation. Then I will guide you through the EK process to alchemize that negative sensation into pleasure, whatever level of pleasure that you're open to feeling. It might just be really getting in touch when you first do the process. There's levels. This is like a muscle you get to exercise. You're learning to alchemize don't like emotions into pure bliss and pure bliss and pleasure. And you might find that the first few times, for several times, is you really have a hard time letting go and allowing yourself to feel that pleasure. So that first step just may be completely being aware of the sensations in your body when you have this don't like situation. Why is this important to get connected with your body and alchemize these denser emotions into higher emotions, into higher frequencies? It's because if you don't fully allow yourself to experience the pleasure that a part of you is having, then you will continue looping it. Right? Because you're in resistance. It's like, I don't like this situation. What am I doing wrong? How do I make it go away? How do I transform it? Do I not feel worthy? We go through all of these stories, and in that time, we're turning our back on it, which is the unconscious, right? Like, ooh, I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to look over here. I'm going to focus on what I want. I'm going to focus on the positive. And back here behind us is a part of us that enjoys that situation because, well, we're divine beings. We came here into the 3D world to experience duality. Our humanness doesn't want to experience duality. Our humanness wants to experience all that is good, light and love. But our whole self, our divinity, wants to experience all of it, the lack, the limitation, the pain, the suffering. Okay, so when the EK says, okay, let's look at this part of me because I keep looping, and there is a part of me having is evidence of wanting. So if I have this thing, there's a part of me that must want it, and we connect with that part. We allow ourselves to feel the pleasure, as much pleasure as we can cultivate in that. And we meet this other self. We look eye to eye with this other self and say, hey, great manifesting abilities, man. We have been looping this for 2 decades. You are a powerhouse, and you celebrate her. And I take you through this process. That video will come out in a couple of days. Hit subscribe so you get notified. That I take you through the process where you connect with that part of yourself, you celebrate her, you experience the pleasure and the bliss of this dual opportunity that you've had. And then you actually do what is required of being 5D. You alchemize the shame, the guilt, the rejection of that desire into pure pleasure. There is no good and bad in the 5D. You understand? And so you're actually alchemizing those lower density emotions to be high frequency. You've made friends with this shadow part of yourself that you actually exiled years and years ago. You decided, I'm not looking at that part of myself. You've now made friends with her. You've accepted her or him or it into your heart. And now you have access to that divine power that that part of yourself was holding. So this brings you another step into wholeness and accessing your divine power, which is required for you to do in order to become fifth dimensional. So you actually, and then you become more free and more sovereign, another pillar of the fifth dimension, right? To create more of what you consciously desire. So I hope all of that made sense. Existential kink is one of the most powerful shadow integration processes I've ever experienced. Alchemy, alchemy, alchemy. It's amazing. So hit like and subscribe so you get notifications for my future videos. The EK video will come out the day after tomorrow. And so you can tune in here and go through the process. Just come to the meditation with a don't like situation that you've been looping in for a while, that you're ready to alchemize. And I will walk you through the rest. All right, everyone, have an amazing day. I hope this supports you in raising your frequency. Bye for now.